Yeah, so I'm Felix from HEXScout. We built HEXScout for around 2 years. So it was a development time of around 2 years. And we built it because the biggest issue with Hex and the rigid hard ecosystem was that it's super hard to actually onboard users. So the way in is so complicated and so many ways to go and so many steps to do that is just way too hard for normal people that are not in touch with crypto at all. So we decided to design the best onboarding tool for Hex that we've seen so far. And yeah, that's why we're here. And we would like to show it to you.
I had a look around. I thought it was a really brilliant website. I think you should start off with support and go through like the onboarding workflow they have.
Yeah.
Max?
Yeah, just direct me. Where should I go?
Oh,
Sure.
support. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can either click support or right on the market page, the green get started button in the top right corner. Both ways work. If you go back one step.
Oh, get started. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, and that's the first step. So what do you need to know when starting with Hex? You firstly want to learn what Hex actually is. So we built this little page that gives you all information about Hex that you need as a starter. And yeah, everything you need to know is there in these little text boxes. And we built this tool to play around with that actually shows you what Hex did in the past, what a Hex might be doing in the future. You can choose your investment on the right side. You can either use the bar or just type in whatever you'd like to invest. And
555.
Perfect. And down there on these graphs, you will see on the left side what Hex did in the past. So what you literally missed out on, what you could have earned. But on the right side, we will give you the good news, and that's what Hex might be doing in the future according to its past performance. And yeah, that's pretty much the start to learn about Hex and yeah, get the first infos. Of course, it's not super complicated and doesn't go into the deepest details of Hex, but it's more like an overview for absolute beginners that haven't been in touch with crypto or Hex in particular to get an idea of what they're actually dealing with. And yep, that's the first part of the starter tour.
Yeah, so I went through.
Let me say this real quick because I feel like you got a longer one, but I just want to say I think positioning like this is very interesting and not scammy and not trickery, like nothing like it's like, hey, this is what it did before. Here's what people believe it could do. You're not lying. You're not trying to deceive anyone. You're just painting a picture of what what could happen. So I really appreciate that. Like, I like that.
Thank you.
And that's the theme I think throughout these steps. Like, click on number 4. What I liked is you tying in encapsulated stakes, because I think here's the staking types. Click on 2. Just I want to see where there's an option letting you know. Yeah, click on number 2. Yeah, the number 2.
Let me restart. And,
you have to go through. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to go through that first. Let's go with step 2. What is staking, and we will end up there pretty soon. Yeah, right. So after learning about the basics of Hex, you of course need to know about its most important feature, which is staking. So we designed a page that allows you to learn about staking and all the features and differences and yeah, everything you need to know. And the highlight of this page is actually the tool generator that allows you to generate your own staking strategy within 2 minutes. It's super easy. I'd like to go through it with you. Yeah, first step was to choose for whom you'd like to do it, for yourself or for someone else. Like, for example, if you're gifting a staking ladder or something, you can do it for someone else as well. Let's go with for me, and then you need to set your goal. Do you want to invest long term? Do you want to invest short term? Do you want to have a mixture of both? For demo purposes, let's go with the first option with a long-term mindset, which is of course the best one in Hex, right? And yeah, then you choose what you would like to invest, like the amount, how much you are willing to put into Hex. All you need to do then is click next. choose your age, because for some people it might not make sense to stake out for 15 years. Like if you're already 90 years old, it might not make sense to stake your HEX until you're 105 years old.
We're working on
that's
that with longevity research. Don't worry, we're working on
it. Good point, but we will need some years for that.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so that's why we are asking for your age. And after that, you already get your final staking ladder that you can, of course, customize with adding another stake. And what you get there now is a nice little staking report. If you scroll down a bit, the whole text explaining to you why we chose the way that we suggest and why it fits your goals. So yeah, you can go through that and check if it makes sense for you. And if you want to customize anything, you can add stakes or remove stakes. Yeah, you're free to customize it as you like.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to drop off real quick, but my favorite parts about HEXScout are the fact that you integrate, you educate on Maxi stakes, Maximus, and encapsulated stakes. So rather than, not so much gatekeeping, but you're shining a light on these other tools that can be especially valuable for investors with different perspectives and different outlooks. I think Maximus and encapsulated stakes are incredibly valuable. You don't know this, Felix, but my last stream with RHMax was a stream where I said I was hacked, and luckily having encapsulated stakes, I was able to salvage at least those and get them off my wallet. So I'm a really big fan of encapsulated stakes, and something I want to do moving forward is just do encapsulated stakes, and obviously pools and stuff like that. Last thing before I go, guys, is before I hosted a HEX house in Mexico. I'm going back to Mexico in January. If anyone wants to or has plans to stop by Latin America early next year, you're welcome to find me on Twitter. And there, my pinned thread shows you all the adventures that we had last time. We had 7 hexagons at the peak. And I'm going to go back in January. So anyone is also welcome to stop by the Cancun area, and we'll make sure to have a good time for any hexagons. So an open invitation for any hexagons.
Cancun. That sounds pretty good right now with the weather up here.
Yeah, it's a super short flight from the States, especially from Florida, if that's where you're at. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off, but thanks so much. And this is a great stream, and I'm going to watch you guys continue. Just I'll be doing something.
Awesome.
Right. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
All right. So what you just said is absolutely right. We wanted to integrate every staking option that is available because the community developed some great tools over the years. And we definitely didn't want to gatekeep anything. The decision is up to the user, which method to use. We will just educate you on what's the downsides and upsides of each method. And you are in the end up to choosing which one fits you best.
That's awesome.
All right. So what's the next logical step after generating your staking ladder and learning about HEX and staking? Of course, you need to get your hands on some HEX. So in the third step, we are explaining how to buy either EHEX or PHEX. And here again, you're at a point where you need to make a decision. So if you scroll down a little, we educate you on what EHEX is and what PHEX is, and where the differences are. So you can decide for your own which one you'd like to go with. So let's say for demo purposes, we decide for PHEX. Then we just scroll up there again and select PHEX. And now we will ask you how you would like to buy how you would actually like to buy PHEX. We offer a fast process and a cheap process. And if you need some kind of help, we will also offer you one-on-one support. Let's go with the
explain this real quick. So fast process, credit card, cheapest with wire, and then safe. What is can you go through what each one of these mean?
Yes, I will. The fast process is literally buying with a credit card, which is tied to higher fees, of course, because credit card buys are just more expensive than with wire transfers. So it's faster, but it's also more expensive. The wire transfer way will guide you through Kraken to buy some ETH and bridge it over to buy then whatever you'd like on Pulse. And the safe process is literally one-on-one support where you can book a support appointment with us. So we guide you through each step necessary just to make sure you don't make any mistakes. So
Cool.
It's for people that don't feel safe doing it on their own or feel like they need guidance on anything. Yeah, it's strictly technical support because we, of course, cannot give you financial advice, but it's an option as well.
Okay.
Let's go with the fast process for now. Or do you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask?
No, I just I like to see, that's something that I would like to see more of too, is just the ability to have a number to call, or be able to book support with the HEX.com people, or stuff stuff like that for onboards who don't know anything. They just like, hey, I don't know how to do this stuff, and they want support in some way. So that's really cool that you kind of got through. Again, this whole process has been tailored to making sure there's super, like, removing the friction from the process, right? Like, that's what you're trying to do.
Right. All right. So then we ask you if you already have a wallet or if you need one. Just select no for now, so you can see what we're actually guiding you through. We recommend installing MetaMask and guide you through each step to get there. Yeah, just scroll down and have a little look. We added some pictures, so it's super clear what to do. If you've done so, you can choose done next step. And you will actually see there how to buy ETH with a credit card. Sadly, we have to go through ETH as there is no reliable party allowing us to buy Pulse directly with credit card. Yeah, that's why we recommend ETH. After doing that, also we are guiding you through with some pictures and GIFs, so you can do nothing wrong. After doing that, the next step would be to actually swap these ETH for WPLS on Ethereum, because if you would buy or if you would bridge over ETH directly, you would be stuck on PulseChain with no Pulse to transact. So that's sadly not an option yet. But I heard some exchanges are working on gasless transactions, so it will be easier in the future, and you won't need this step anymore. But for now, you will have to exchange it for WPLS and bridge them over, which of course is the next step after buying them with ETH. Yeah, again, little explainer on how to use the bridge. Super easy, so yeah, it's pretty understandable, I think, and really made for everyone who hasn't done it ever before. Yeah.
Is this bridge just a gateway to the one? Yeah, I know what those are. Sure you're aware of Go Real DeFi, my bridge.pulsechain.com as well. Yeah, there's
nice.
So I didn't know that Pulse Hot List made one. All right, cool. Another question is just like on GoPulse, can't you buy? Is there a way? Or is it just not reliable to buy PLS directly with this?
I think it's the top right corner. Yeah, the thing is, it has a super low limit, and it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
Gotcha.
So it's actually not reliable at all. We also tested this option, but yeah, you can't recommend it because it's not working all the time.
I figured you're just going with like the safest, most working, like most reliable options here. That makes sense.
Yeah, right. Okay, if you scroll down then and go to the next step, we ask you to add PulseChain to MetaMask because yeah, you will need to transact on PulseChain now. Just a little button, nothing really to explain. And after that, we explain to you how to actually swap PLS for HEX. Yeah, and after that, you are good to go. And what actually the magic happens in step 4 then, which is actually how to stake your HEX, like the technical part. We generated your staking strategy one step before, and we are now able to execute it. So if you scroll down a little, that's just the same overview we had in step 2 with your stakes and the report. If you click next step, you will be asked which staking method you'd like to use. And this is what he just referred to. We are providing you with all options, a native Hedron stake and a pooled stake, so a community stake. If you scroll down a little, you will see a comparison between these three. So you can actually go ahead and decide for yourself which suits you best.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is the pool
And
staking?
then-
Is that Maximus?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Okay, then you can, after educating yourself down there, you can select which methods to go with for each stake. Yeah, depending on your case, it might make sense to go with different ones, exactly. And if you now click next step, all you need to do is actually click the stake button, and for the pooled one, of course, the buy button, because there's only a short minting period all the time, and after that you have to buy it on the open market, which is not feasible for larger people because the slippage is pretty high, as the liquidity isn't that big. Yeah. But if you click on the native one on stake, for example, of course you don't have HEX now, so we would ask you to actually buy HEX first. But if you had HEX in your wallet, MetaMask would just pop up now and ask you to confirm your stake. And that's literally it. So you learned from what is HEX to how to actually stake them, everything within very, very little time and pretty effortless as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think,
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I've never seen a process that's so just, it takes care of everything. I think that's what you need. Like, you know, when I'm building websites and stuff too, or whatever I'm working on, whatever project, whether it's validating or otherwise too, I'm thinking, how do I reduce the friction the most? How do I make people like not click away? How do I get them through the process? How do I, you know, how many people did you sit down and go through this and be like, oh, now I'm stuck here, and you go back and, you know, refix, like make it better? I mean, like, I bet that took a lot of time, right?
Yeah, it took us 2 years to develop the whole website, and there was just one part. It was just the onboarding tour. If you would like, we can also have a quick look on the other two main features, which is the market page and portfolio. I don't know how your schedule is in the stream. If you have other guests waiting, I don't want to consume too much of your time.
Let me bring one guy in who's been here for a little bit, and then I'm sure we can talk about it as well. Welcome to the stream, Norbert. How's it going?
Hello, guys. Yeah, all good.
Hi there.
Just learning. Hey.
Yeah. You want to give everyone an introduction of yourself and all that?
Yeah, I'm Norbert. I've been around the crypto space since 2020. Been introduced by a good friend to HEX. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to him. It was too overwhelming, all these things like MetaMask, Ledger, Trezor, CoinGecko, seed phrase. So I kind of gave up on it and went a different route on Coinbase. So that's why I'm not a millionaire today. But learned a ton, met fantastic people, and yeah, just enjoying the ride and trying to contribute and help out as much as I can.
Cool. Have you used HEXScout yet?
No, but I'm just getting, as you were showing it around, I'm learning it myself. I heard about it, but I didn't do extensive research. But it's really nice to see that you even have an app as well available on App Store and Google Play as well.
Actually, not yet. It will be released within 1 or 2 weeks.
Oh, sorry, coming soon. Sorry, so my bad.
Yeah.
It's a bit
They
too
are
late
under
in London.
review by the app stores at the moment. So we are waiting for their approval, and then you will, of course, be able to download them.
But these are kind of things we need if we want HEX and all the Richard Hart ecosystem to succeed. Because imagine that there are other chains, you know, like we have to be somehow either stand out of the crowd, make it appealing, or the newcomers, like new onboarders, that, you know, to be as seamless and easy as possible. Otherwise, as you were saying, Max, that people attention span is much shorter these days, and then if you try to tell someone, yeah, this is a great product because of this and this, and then they, okay, so just show me what, and then you get into the nitty details, and they're like, oh, what about this? But I don't get that one. So, but yeah, this is a really clear, easy to understand visualization.
Yeah, I'm just glad somebody built it for Hex. Like Hex is the old boring thing. PulseChain's here. Nobody likes Hex anymore. It's not going to go up as much. I'm glad people are still talking about working on building stuff to make Hex, the premier product and stuff. I love seeing that.
Thank you. Well, first of all, we still love Hex, and I still think that Hex is Richard Hart's most important coin, as it was his first one, and he literally built Pulse for hexagons, so we can transact cheaply. So I definitely don't think that Hex is the old thing and no one is interested in it anymore. It's definitely Richard Hart's baby and his first baby, of course. So yeah, Hex is still
It's my
there
baby.
and will probably never go away.
I love it, man. Love it. Yeah. Did you want to go through? You said another part to explore.
Sure. If you click on HEXScout in the top left corner, you will get to the market page again. And that's pretty much one of the highlights as well. It gives you a whole market overview. If you scroll down a little, you will see a lot more info than just the price chart. So we also added the last 24 hours, whale watch. And if you scroll even deeper, you will also see an overview over the staker class, like how many stakers are there, the growth rates, and so on. Then an overview over the pool stakes, the Maximus tokens. And that show you how cheaply they are on the market right now. So if you can get a premium, if you can actually get more Hex for the same price, buying those. And last but not least, you see the gas prices, which are, of course, $0 on PulseChain. Pretty nice. If you click the Pulse logo in the top right corner, it will switch chains to HEX to Ethereum. So you can see different gas prices there. If you scroll up now, you will get all the same information on HEX as well. So we are not exclusively building for PHEX, but also for HEX. That's the market page. Do you guys have any questions or want anything to say?
I was gonna say I like the whale watch. That's cool. I'm trying to look for stuff I haven't seen before. I know everything just looks. There's a bunch of Hex websites I have been for years, and a lot of them, there's a lot of overlap. A lot of them say the same thing in different ways. But having I'm very interested in like the new pieces. Or the stuff that's like presented in a way that is new and novel and like easy to understand. Like you look at this and you have a reaction that gives you data. Like there is data from what I'm seeing. So that kind of thing is very cool to see. For example, whale watch.
Thank you. Great. Okay, and then let's move on to portfolio if you'd like, which is the last key feature of the website for now. Just click the little God whale button. It will lead you directly to the Eddie of the God whale, and there you see his portfolio. Starting with this beautiful chart at the top, showing you which asset he holds and his total dollar net worth. It gives you a sweet little overview over what he possesses.
Always cracks me up when I see these just ridiculous numbers, like billions.
Yeah.
Somebody has 8 billion Hex. Like that just doesn't seem real. It's amazing.
Please click the little arrow right below the 8 billion. Yes. So there you can see how these Hex are actually, like where they are. Some of them are EHEX, some of them are liquid, some of them are staked. And of course, some of them are PHEX. So you can see on which chain he has how many Hex. Gives you a nice little overview. As you can see, he's almost completely staked and staked for a pretty long time, with his next stake ending in almost 3,000 days, which is quite some time, around 10 years. That's
like,
the overview.
What am I hearing right now? This is great in a good way.
That's amazing, right? That's 8 billion Hex off the market for almost 10 years from now. That's crazy.
It is incredible. Yeah, I love the way it's put together because I use I'm looking at Godwell stuff. I use fatty.io, and I mean it's great, but I like to see like here you're presenting the most notable data. Like this is again looking at it and immediately I can make conclusions from this, or I can at least have a reaction from it, which is like 100% stake for 10 years, that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. If you click the little arrow again, you will see one section below his other assets. Yeah, that's what he holds as well. So you can see tons of PulseX, and only, I wouldn't call it little, but some Ethereum as well. Gives you a detail on that as well. So you can completely check his portfolio on both chains. And if you scroll down a little more, or let's first click on the little arrow again, because we have a nice balance chart below that. Shows you his HEX balance, which of course includes buys and staking earnings and all that. So whenever he gets more or less HEX because he buys or sells or earns interest or whatever, you can see it on this little chart. Yeah, that's a pretty nice feature as well, methinks.
Was that bump? Was that just the fork?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I figured.
Because we are currently on the combined portfolio. If you scroll up to the top again, you will see a little button right next to his name, allowing you to select which chain, either Pulse or Ethereum or both. So you can
that's cool.
Get details on these as well. And if you then scroll down a little deeper, you will see his transaction history, which isn't that important for now, but you can see how long he staked and the details on his stakes. So you see these little staking cards with the one in the middle, 257,000 T-shares, which is just a crazy amount, an amount almost anyone can only dream of. And if you click on the three little dots in the staking card, you can get even more information on the stakes. Like, for example, how high the bonuses he got are and the performance of the stake, but also an end stake simulation. So if he ended the stake now, right now, he would get originally 0 HEX back because he staked for so long, and the penalty would eat up all HEX.
Do it.
Yeah.
That would be quite a payout for the payout would be
it would be crazy.
Would be legendary. Yeah.
And one more fun feature, actually, if you click the staking card away again, these details, and select the little dollar hex switch in the menu bar at the top right corner. Yes, this one. Yep. You can now see how much he's earning in dollar per day, per week, per month, and per year. So he's making 17K a day at the bottom of the bear market, which is absolutely insane.
27K, wow.
Yeah, 27K if you combine his portfolios. That's absolutely incredible. That's crazy.
Good to be early.
Yeah, so these are the stats for his T-shares. A fun thing to play around with and pretty interesting for your own portfolio. And that's pretty much the portfolio page.